Over the years, the NFL has witnessed numerous controversial moments that have left fans and players confused and questioning the integrity of the game. Is it rigged? Did the NFL want certain teams and stars to win? Among them, 4 decisions stand out at the most contentious calls. In this video, we will explore each of them in more detail, looking at the lasting impact they had on the teams involved, and in some cases, the eventual rule changes that ensued. First, let's take a trip to the Superdome to remind ourselves of the horrendous pass interference non-call between the Rams and the Saints. Given the blatant nature of the penalty and the high-profile status of the game, this may well be the worst non-call moment in NFL history. The setting was the 2018 season's NFC Championship game. Here's what you need to know. First, the play. With the game tied at 20-20 and less than 2 minutes remaining in regulation, the Saints were driving deep into Rams territory, and clearly momentum was on their side. Drew Brees was in the end zone, giving his team a chance to get to the Super Bowl. On a crucial 3rd and 10 play from the Rams' 13-yard line, Brees, in the shotgun, tried to float the ball to receiver Tommy Lee Lewis on an outside route to the end zone. Second, the crazy moment. Rams cornerback Nickell Robey-Coleman blatantly hit Lewis and sent him sprawling 5 yards. The hit came well before the ball arrived, making it the easiest of pass interference penalties, which should have resulted in the ball being placed at the position of a foul and a new set of downs. However, the flag never arrived. It was so flagrant that if Robey-Coleman had got his head around to look at the ball, he could have easily turned it into an interception, and maybe even a pick six. Instead, he simply wiped out the receiver and thanked his lucky stars that he didn't just cost his team the game. Third, the game impact. Prior to that play, the game was in the Saints' hands. A touchdown would all but win it, and a first down would allow them to run down the clock and kick a field goal with minimal time remaining. Instead, the penalty wasn't called, and the Saints had to kick the field goal immediately, giving Jared Goff and the Rams enough time to tie the game and eventually win in overtime 26-23, sending them to Super Bowl 53. The non-call sparked outrage among Saints fans, players, and coaches, leading to the widespread criticism of the much-maligned NFL officials. It prompted discussions about the need for changes in how the NFL handles instant replay and officiating reviews, especially judgment calls like pass interference. Fourth, the aftermath. In response to the controversy, the NFL owners approved a rule change, allowing pass interference calls and non-calls to be reviewable via instant replay. This was intended to prevent such egregious officiating errors in the future, although this rule was not extended beyond the 2019 season. The Rams vs. Saints non-call remains a significant reminder of how one minor lapse from a referee can influence a game and change the outcome of a franchise forever. Drew Brees was 1 game away from finally getting back to another Super Bowl, but instead he retired 2 years later, not coming close to getting that elusive second ring. Next, we have the Hail Mary play. This label was assigned to a controversial play that produced the most dramatic of finishes between the Seattle Seahawks and the Green Bay Packers on September 24, 2012. With the NFL season in just its 3rd week, 2 replacement referees were officiating the game due to an ongoing labor dispute between the NFL and its regular referees. The reliance on inexperienced refs was bound to produce a headline, and to no one's surprise, that's exactly what had happened. Here's what you need to know. First, the play. It was a Monday Night Football clash during the 2012 NFL season, played at Century League Field in Seattle. The Packers were leading 12-7 with 8 seconds left on the clock, and the only play was to throw to the end zone. Everyone knew what was coming. It's one of the most exciting plays in football. It's the Hail Mary. Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson scrambled to dodge a few defenders, got to the 40-yard line, and delivered the hopeful Hail Mary pass into the end zone, loosely in the direction of wide receiver Golden Tate. Amidst the chaotic bundle of players who all went up for the pass, Packer safety M.D. Jennings and Golden Tate both came down with their hands on the ball. Second, the controversial call. The 2 replacement referees looked at each other, both clearly confused over who had possession. Instead of getting together to discuss what had transpired, they did the unthinkable. At the exact same moment, each referee made a different call. One referee waved his hands in the air, presumably signaling an interception and a win for the Packers, while the other raised his hand signaling a touchdown and a win for the Seahawks. At this point, because both refs are at odds, both Tate and Jennings are still scuffling in the end zone. Third, the game impact. After a brief discussion, the play was ruled a touchdown, giving the Seahawks a 14-12 victory. Video replay shows Jennings clearly intercepted the ball and came down with it for possession, suggesting it should have been a Packers win. Furthermore, Tate pushed off a Packers defender. However, offensive pass interference is not reviewable. Fourth, the aftermath. The Hail Mary led to widespread outrage from fans, players, and analysts. It brought extra attention and criticism to the NFL's reliance on inexperienced referees at the highest level, and the incident is deemed to have accelerated the end of the bitter labor dispute. Within 2 days after the game, the NFL and the referees union reached an agreement as the regular referees returned to officiate NFL games the following week. The Hail Mary remains as one of the most infamous plays in NFL history due to the poor officiating and the refs gifting a win for the Seahawks. Our next play is the Dez Bryant catch. That wasn't a catch. This controversial play occurred in a 2014 NFL Divisional Round playoff game between the Dallas Cowboys and Green Bay Packers. Here's what you need to know. First, the play. The Cowboys were trailing the Packers 26-21 with about 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. The Cowboys and Tony Romo, hoping to put years of playoff futility behind them, faced a daunting 4th and 2 from the Packers' 32-yard line. Romo, in shotgun and with an empty backfield, threw a deep pass to Dez Bryant along the sidelines, who made an impressive leaping catch over the Packers cornerback Sam Shields near the goal line. Bryant secured the ball. When he hit the ground around the 2-yard line, the ball popped up before Bryant secured it again and rolled into the end zone. It was as much of a bang-bang play as you could get. The initial ruling on the field had officials calling it a catch and marking Bryant down at the 1-yard line. This would have given the Cowboys a great shot at taking the lead and really applying pressure on the Packers. Second, the controversial call. Packers head coach Mike McCarthy challenged the call, arguing that Bryant did not have possession of the ball when he hit the ground, making it an incomplete pass. After reviewing the play, the officials agreed with McCarthy and overturned the catch, ruling Bryant did not maintain control of the ball. According to the NFL's catch rules at the time, a receiver had to maintain possession of the ball throughout the process of going to the ground for it to be considered a catch. However, the NFL's rules on what constituted a catch were highly scrutinized and considered confusing. Third, the game impact. The overturned catch effectively ended the Cowboys' comeback hopes, as the Packers took on over downs and ran out of the clocks to win the game 26-21. It would also be the last time Tony Romo appeared in an NFL playoff game, as he would retire after 2 more injury-plagued seasons. Fourth, the aftermath. The controversy over Bryant's non-catch contributed to the NFL reevaluating and eventually changing the catch rule in subsequent seasons. Implemented in 2018, the new rule clarified that a player had to have control of the ball with 2 feet down and make a football move, such as the third step or reaching for the goal line. The Dez Bryant catch that wasn't ruled a catch remains one of the highly debated calls in NFL history, ending the Cowboys season and completely changing the way we view the process of catching the football. Our final controversial ref call came in the infamous Tucker Roll game, taking place in a 2001 AFC divisional playoff game between the New England Patriots and the then Oakland Raiders. This game, which started the legacy of Tom Brady's illustrious GOAT career, was played in a snowfall at Foxborough Stadium, which also ended up being the last game played there. It is one of the most debated moments in NFL history and significantly impacted the legacies of the teams and players involved. Here's what you need to know. The play. Late in the fourth quarter, with the Patriots trailing 13-10, a relatively then unknown Brady was mounting a comeback and had the momentum on the Patriots side. With 1 minute and 50 seconds left in the game and a 1st and 10 with the ball on the Oakland 42-yard line, Brady dropped back to pass. He began to throw, but pump faked and tried to corral the football into his body, but he was hit by Raiders cornerback, his former college teammate, Charles Woodson, causing the ball to come loose. Oakland's linebacker Greg Bierkett recovered the ball, seemingly sealing a Raiders victory. There was a collective gasp among the Patriots faithful as the season looked over. Second, the controversial call. After reviewing the play, referee Walt Coleman invoked the Tucker Rule, which stated that if a quarterback's arm is moving forward when he loses possession of the ball, it is considered an incomplete pass rather than a fumble. The replay showed Brady's arm moving forward as he was hit, so the play on the field was overturned and the Patriots retained, or perhaps regained, possession. Third, the game impact. The controversial decision allowed the Patriots to continue their drive. Brady would go on to complete a 13-yard pass to wide receiver David Patton, getting to the Raiders' 29-yard line. After 2 incomplete passes and a Brady scramble, kicker Adam Vinatieri then defied the bad weather to make a gusty 45-yard field goal to send the game into overtime. In overtime, with the Raiders' defense gassed, Brady drove 65 yards downfield on 15 plays before handing it over to Vinatieri to hit another field goal to secure the 16-13 victory. Fourth, the aftermath. The tuck roll game is often viewed as a pivotal moment in NFL history. For the Patriots, it marked the beginning of Brady and the Bill Belichick dynasty, as he would lead them to the first of his 6 Super Bowl wins in New England. For the Raiders, the game was a crushing defeat. While they made the Super Bowl the following year, what came after was 13 straight years of 3rd and 4th place finishes. Many Raiders fans, players still view the tuck roll decision as a miscarriage of justice, feeling that it robbed them of a legitimate chance at a Super Bowl. The tuck rule itself continued to be a source of controversy in subsequent years, leading the NFL to eventually eliminate the rule in 2013. These 4 controversial calls will go down as some of the worst refereeing contributions in NFL history. Each has left an undeniable mark on the league's history, showcasing the scrutiny and passion that surrounds every play, and the impact referees can have on franchises' successes. Perhaps Drew Brees would have gone on to win his 2nd Super Bowl ring if the refs had called pass interference on his late pass against the Rams, and who knows how he would have viewed Tony Romo's career if Dez's catch hadn't been overruled. Would Brady have retained as a starter in New England if that fumble had sent them home instead of to the first of 6 titles? These moments sparked debates, rule changes, and many what-if situations, reminding us that referees are a very important part of the game. Which call do you think was the most shocking? And if you liked this video, let me know which awful ref calls I should look at next.